Oh, hello! Today we're gonna talk about corporate videography. You wanna stay tuned? I see you after the intro. Hey guys, welcome to a new video. As I mentioned in the intro, today we talk about corporate videography. I'm actually on location for this job. It's the same company that hired me for my last video, so if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And I'm actually sharing there some corporate photography tips, so definitely you don't want to miss it. Go and click here after this video. I'm still in the School of Art here in Brixton, South London, and today we're gonna take some filming of the students doing some activities in the school. So I'm gonna guide you through my gear, the settings for this particular shoot, which is gonna be different from the photography shoot, of course, even though the camera gear I have is very similar. Once again, I'm gonna share all the tips just going through the day, so you don't wanna miss this video either. We're not only taking videos today, but we take also some portrait photography of the students, and we're gonna start from that actually. We're gonna set up the camera. Today I rent for this shoot the Sony A7 III. For the last shoot I had the A7R III, which is more a photography oriented camera. This one is good either for photography and videography, and that's the first tip. Whenever you are on a shoot, you want to know what you need to film or take photographs of, because you need to choose the right gear, and this is the right gear for me today. 24 megapixel, so still great photography, but it's very good as a video camera, especially with dynamic range, autofocus and all that. For this portrait photography, I'm using the picture profile of the camera, so the colors are straight from the camera, no S-logs at all, no flat log. I'm gonna start with the 85mm f1.4. Also, this is a good range to stay away and keep my distance from the students. So definitely the best lens for portrait, in my opinion. Nice depth of field, nice bokeh, but in any case, have yourself covered with the range of lenses. And I've got from 16 to 85mm for today. If you want to check my lenses, they are exactly the same I used 2 days ago. So go and check my video once again. I'm now looking for a spot where to take the portrait photography here in Port Brixton, and I'm looking at the light, the background as well, all these kind of things. So the photos need to represent just the students. It's literally a corporate photography shoot, so we want to have a nice background, but also we need to take care of the light. I have a diffuser and many reflectors, which I'm going to show you right now, and you can actually see in the description tab. You can get it just by clicking on my link if you want to. This is a nice spot. The only problem, I've got the sun in the background, but we can see if we can do anything here, because I like the plants, so that could be a nice background. And the light actually is in a good position because it's a 45 degrees, so we can create some nice shadows and diffuse them with a diffuser. Let's have a look. So this is the gear I was telling you. These are the reflectors by Newer. I paid, I think, £16 from Amazon, and you've got 5 items in one, so they're very handy. The diameter is 80 centimeters, so it's quite big. Let's have a look. First time I open. See? Woo! Can you see? As you can see here, I've got some zips. We have a silver reflector, just a black diffuser, and then inside you have a golden reflector and a white one, and also another diffuser, a white diffuser. So very, very handy. And what I love about this kit, when you fold it, it goes up to 30 centimeters, so you can put it in your backpack and travel with it. And what I do, I just stick it inside this pocket in my backpack. So this is the diffuser. This is what it does. And we have this nice roof which actually works as a diffuser. So yeah, just works out. Okay, I want a really nice depth of field. That's why I'm setting up the camera at f1.4. Shutter speed is going to be 4,000ths of a second just to compensate the amount of light going into the lens. And the ISO it's 250 just to keep the noise down. We found the location for the shots, and also I'm using the silver reflector because it works better than the golden. And I'm gonna ask some of the students to help me out, so that's gonna be fun. If you're a self-shooter as I am, sometimes you need help, so don't be afraid to ask help to your friends or the people around you. They're gonna learn something new and they're gonna have fun anyway. Okay, ready? So these are the first two shots I got. One of the biggest tips I can give when you take portrait photography is to be very friendly with your subject, because some people are actually very camera shy. So you want to make them feel comfortable. Just give them maybe a couple of minutes, talk them through what's gonna happen. Also make them feel like they can be themselves in front of the camera. Some like to smile, some don't. They want to be serious, and that's up to them. And if you want, just show them the photos if they like it. Otherwise, you just take another couple of shots. You know guys, I love my job. What I love about it is that it's very varied. So sometimes I get photography jobs, sometimes videography jobs. I'm on corporate events, sports. I take portrait photography. So really you learn a lot of different skills, and you might be able to travel the world too. And also you can get good money. So if you want to pursue this career, just work hard, keep chasing your dream. It's really a good job. We're now switching to videos. I'm talking quietly because the students are doing their work, but what we have to do is to go around and film the activities. Now the company required me to just film the activities for today, and they are probably gonna edit it themselves in the future. So that's a bit tricky because usually I film with flat profile in the camera, but I asked my contact here and they're not able to color grade the footage. So what I'm doing is actually filming with a normal picture profile of the camera of the Sony. So the colors are already saturated, and there's also some contrast between highlights and shadows. In any case, if they wanted to send it to a video editor, a professional video editor, they can still use it and create a nice video out of the footage. But that's something you want to know in advance. So once again, always you want to have a brief for your project. And of course for video we need to change also the settings. So I'm gonna film at 50 frames per second so they can also have some slow motion, and I'm gonna put the shutter speed at 100th of a second. I also have a gimbal, the DJI Ronin S. It works amazingly with the Sony cameras, the Sony Alpha cameras, because the cameras are very light and this thing is very strong, so they really match. And yeah, we're gonna just walk around and take some shots. One of the good things of this gimbal is the strength. So I can mount it with one lens, and then I can just swap lens without changing many settings, because the gimbal is strong enough to hold my different lenses, my range of lenses anyway. And what I totally recommend is a quick release plate like this. So in this case I can switch from gimbal to handheld in 2-3 seconds. Another tip I forgot, as the guys want me to leave the footage with them today, I brought my laptop. So you can bring your laptop. If you have an SD card reader or whatever card you're using, you make sure you bring the reader with you. I'm just downloaded the file, going home, job done. So the guys are now doing workshops, and that's something interesting to take. So if you're in an event like this, make sure you get all the activities, the cool stuff happening. And I'm switching between the 24 to 16-35 now, but also the 85 for some nice close-ups and nice bouquet. I've been taking some establishing shots with the 16-35. Now I take the establishing shots from outside. I was inside before, and I'm still using the gimbal. Once again, we're gonna grab the logos as I mentioned in my previous video. When you use a gimbal, I usually recommend to take the same shots by going forward and backwards. So if you're doing a tracking shot, I definitely recommend to do both motions just to have an extra clip to use and to work with. Also, to compensate the extra amount of light entering the camera, I'm putting an ND filter. It's a variable ND filter because of course I want to keep my shutter speed double my frame rate. The bad thing of not using the flat profile is that you don't have enough dynamic range to play with in post-production. So unfortunately we're gonna see some highlights and shadows as well in the images, and we can't really color correct them properly in post-production. Time to wrap up the shoot once again, and it's raining here in London. Perfect London weather. Last tip, you guys for this kind of shoots need to understand when you need to wrap up the video. It's a very repetitive kind of job, so you will keep shooting the same things over and over. Hands, computers, people's faces. So you really need to know when to wrap up, when to stop filming. In case you're missing some footage, you can just come back in these kind of situations and maybe just film for, you know, for free for a couple of hours and wrap up your video. But that's all for today. I hope the tips were useful once again. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.